Well, I think disappointed in that we didn't get the win. Going into it, we felt like we could go in there and play with these guys. We felt like we came out of it on the short end. Give them credit. They made some plays towards the end of the game, and they were able to get the victory. But obviously disappointed we didn't go to be close. We went to win the game. I thought there was a lot of positives to come out of it. I thought we were able to run the football. I thought we were able to throw the football. Defensively, I was really pleased with how we were able to defend the run. We were able to create 3 turnovers. At the end of the game, we just got to make a few more plays, and we did. Offensively, made 2 ill-advised throws, but that's part of it. Ryan's a winner. He's going to learn from it. We didn't play a perfect game by no means, but we got some things to clean up. But for the most part, you look at it, the way we were able to move the ball, we were able to stop the run, create some turnovers. We had 4 penalties. We're just going to get better. It's game week, which means it's all week. We started yesterday. We watched the film. We're ready to get on to our next opponent.
You mentioned the defensive effort on Saturday against Kansas. 11 tackles for losses as a team. That would have been a season high for any game last year. I think Kansas only had 3 tackles for loss as a group. What did your group do so well up front in getting penetration to be able? It really seemed like through all 4 quarters you were able to get penetration, able to get pressure.
Well, I think strength in numbers. We got a lot of guys that can play. We were able to keep them fresh. Some guys really were able to cause some havoc in there, but we played a lot of guys, and that's going to be our strength up front, is playing with numbers.
Also, just going through the defensive side and being able to play with those numbers, how did you feel they were able to capitalize when maybe they were put into some tough situations because of those mistakes that the offense made?
Well, I think too, you go back, we've got some guys back, playing wise. Noki Moala was back. You felt him out there. Caleb Brewer was with us for the first time last year. You see how he's really improved. He was named Conference Player of the Week for his efforts. You notice Cade Perrott out there. You saw Chris Reed, Michael Gant, Tierre Turner, Henrik Barn, Philip Zadcock. There's a lot of guys out there, and that's how this is going to be played this year. We've got a lot of guys that can play, and we're excited to see them just get better and better.
I know the secondary was going to be a big talking point, or in terms of seeing if there was improvement. And, there were plays, I remember there in the second half, where Kiavis went up with 2 hands, had the interception. Unfortunately, it literally deflected right back into a Jayhawk receiver. Even though there were those tough plays late, Kansas made that drive to win the game. Did you see improvement in the secondary, and where you felt maybe that was a group where you needed to make improvement?
Yeah, I thought we were, we contested every throw. There was one time they got behind us, but for the most part, we're right there. We got to make the play. Number of times, Kiavis had his hands on the ball. He'll come up with those. We're close on some things. Weren't perfect a couple times, rounding off his breaks a couple times, getting his hip sunk, but breaking on the ball, I thought him and Mackay did a nice job. We do have to tackle better. We are going to tackle better. There's no question in my mind. There are things that we can improve on. There's no excuse for some of the things that happened. They know that. We'll be better. We had our head down a couple times. We left our feet a couple times, tackled high a few times. Those are all correctable. We're in position to make plays. They're going to make them. And give them credit. They have some good football players. But you can't tackle that way and expect to beat a good team like Kansas.
I know there were a lot of folks via social media or watching the game were very concerned about Titus, and of course him being carted off the field, and just a scary moment. I know Rontrez left the game, Big Tuna left the game at one point, Glenn Glasgow did, but he came back in. Is there much you can add on those guys if you've learned anything in the aftermath?
Well, I think we've received good news. We'll get Rontrez and Titus back. It'll just be day by day, week by week, see where we're at. We'll see how they feel throughout this week. The other guys, they had some cramping issues. But, that says that's what our team's built on. Our team's built on that. Dante Jones goes in there and does a great job. Dakota Caton, as we've seen all along, he goes in there and does a great job when Rontrez. So, Peterson Curligrand, those guys jumped in there. Davion Higgs God forbid something happens to any of these young men, but the next guy's got to be able to step up, and that's always been our message, and that's the belief that our football team has, that everybody has a valued role, and you just don't know when your time's going to come. And when those guys had their opportunities, they made the most of them on Saturday.
I know you showed it to your team last night.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the middle of a game coaching, and I know in the moment, but what did it mean for you to know you had a guy like Titus who had a significant injury or appeared to have a significant injury at the time, and he didn't stay in the locker room? He came out on his crutches, cheering for his team from the end zone. The importance that you see that in your guys and know what that means you have in your locker room.
We got a lot of guys like that. I remember a year ago, Ron Trez Morgan and Michael Thomas coming into my office and being upset with me because I couldn't take them on an away trip when they were out. I could only travel so many guys. And they were begging me. Going to Youngstown, Ohio. Longest bus trip, coming to my office the next week, asking me to come. Well, instead I traveled them. I traveled 62 healthy guys and added them to the 64-man roster, so they were part of the 64 that traveled knowing that they weren't going to be able to play. That's just one example of the type of young men we have in our program. Of course, I wasn't aware of Titus being on the sidelines, but to say I wasn't surprised, that he was like that. Here's a young man that is a team guy all the way, was out there cheering his team on, even though it looked as if he may not return, maybe, but you know what? He's out there cheering his teammates on, and that says a lot not only about him, but the type of young men we have in our program.
Let's move forward and look at your opponent this week in Dayton from the Pioneer League. It's a program that did make the playoffs for the first time back in 2015. They played a Valley team in Western Illinois that year, but Coach Chamberlain, who's there now, you could really make an argument that in a way he is Mr. Dayton football. He's been there for nearly half of their program wins his time as a player and assistant and now head coach. What type of challenge does your team have coming into Memorial Stadium on Saturday?
Well, in Dayton's got rich in tradition. It's a great football program. Coach Chamberlain has been part of the program for a long, long time. As you said, he's been part of 379 wins out of 679. They've always had a very respected, tough, well-coached football team. This is no different. I told the team in the summer. I told the team during camp. I told them after the game. I believe this today, that this will be our biggest challenge. It wasn't going to be in Lawrence, Kansas. It was going to be in Terre Haute, Indiana. And I still believe that. And this is a good football team. They returned 3 offensive linemen. I really like their quarterback, Jack Cook. He reminds me of our quarterback. I think everybody knows how I feel about Ryan Boyle. This guy reminds me of Ryan Boyle. He is a winner. He was named freshman FCS. He's on the FCS freshman All-American team. He's a winner. You see how he commands. He plays with confidence. They have a tight end who's as good as advertised. I don't think there's anybody in the country would love to have their tight end. Adam Troutman is 6'6", 250 pounds, and he's a threat. Defensively, you watch him on film, no surprise, it's the typical Coach Chamberlain defense. They fly around, they're tough, well coached. We're going to have a heck of a challenge this Saturday.
In dealing with that challenge with Dayton too, have you felt with your team, I know you've only had one day with them on Sunday, but you kind of mentioned to it, it's got to be a good game week.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't show up on Saturday and go. Because of the disappointment in that first game, everyone on the outside may say, hey, good job, you played close.
Mm-hmm.
You guys wanted to win that game. I think there was a huge confidence you're able to win. Do you have to guard as a coach this week to make sure that that disappointment does not bleed over and you cut that disappointment and
mm-hmm.
move on to the next challenge? Because yes, you do have a very good team coming in on Saturday.
Absolutely. We talk all the time about, game week is all week, and it starts on Sunday. And that's watching and learning from the previous game. But then again, getting in and getting treatment. And Mondays are your academic day, and that you catch up on your academics. Maybe it's your study table hours. But nonetheless, it starts on Sunday. And, how you take care of your body. and how you hydrate throughout. We had 4 guys cramp up. We can't have those 4 guys cramp up during a game. But you can take care of that throughout the week, and we got to have a good Tuesday. I didn't think our Wednesday last week was very good. We got to come out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning, and we'll be ready to play at 1 o'clock on Saturday. But it takes all week, and it's the preparation that you have, whether it's taking care of your body, physically, getting the rest that you need, and then mentally being prepared to come out on Saturday and be ready to play.
It was the first time in your tenure, in your short 3 years here, that you opened up the season on the road. So it's the home opener on Saturday. I know there's a lot of new signage up at Memorial Stadium. You've taken a really big part in and making sure it gets up in some of the changes at Memorial Stadium with the program support as well. Just the excitement level that you have to be back in front of the home fans on Saturday, and knowing that Memorial Stadium will definitely have some uplifts.
Well, you know, we're excited. We're excited about all the people that have supported us. We've doubled in season tickets, so we're really excited about that. The support that we've received by season tickets, but also, you know, some of the support that we've been able to get to make Memorial Stadium look first class. And we're really excited about the look of it, excited to have the people in the stands, and we're excited to be back home.